New this morning on your Fast Track, 3 people are hurt after a fiery 3-car crash that involved a Crow Wing County, Minnesota sheriff's deputy. The state patrol says 2 vehicles were stopped on Highway 371 near Brainerd yesterday, waiting to turn off that road when one was rear-ended by the squad car and then pushed into the car in front of it.
No one was seriously hurt. The police car did start on fire and was destroyed. It was driven by 42-year-old Deputy Matthew Jorgens. The legalization of marijuana in Minnesota on August 1st will mean the end of an era for some canine officers. Police say it's not likely that the dogs can be trained to stop detecting marijuana, which could compromise narcotics searches.
Departments say replacing those highly skilled dogs will be expensive. Now, a dog trained to do both patrol work and drug detection costs around $12,000.
Things are heating up as we head into a first alert weather day. We're sending things over now to meteorologist Lisa Green for a closer look. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, we've been talking about the heat peaking on Wednesday, but it's also building in today, and with that comes some storms too. So we also have a first alert weather day for today for both of those factors on this Tuesday. So let's take a look at what's going on. This morning there are some storms happening. We have them up in the northern part of the viewing area. A couple of them trying to push into places like Rolette and Towner County, but the more intense cluster that's been dropping in from Canada continues to approach. We saw some move in earlier this morning. They kind of weakened as they did so, and I do expect this area of thunderstorm activity to weaken as well, but it will produce some heavy rain, some lightning, the gusty winds associated with storms, and potentially some small hail as it's moving into Roseau County. So we're tracking that area, but that's not the main event for today. We're talking about later on into the afternoon and evening that we could see some severe weather. We've got the heat out there as well this morning, already starting off warm and muggy. Here's a look at our temperatures. It's 69 degrees in Fargo, 72 in Devil's Lake. Fergus Falls is at 70. So when we're starting the day with that kind of warm foundation, we're just going to build and go up from there with winds out of the south driving in the heat, driving in that moisture as well. So here's a look at our planner for today. Expect to have temperatures climbing back into the 90s. Yesterday we got into the low 90s in Fargo. Today we may add a few more degrees to the mix here and get into the mid 90s for highs with that south wind. Increasing clouds, and beyond, this is 4 p.m. here. You see we're still looking at increasing clouds. Beyond that time frame is when I would expect to have the possibility for a storm that gets strong to severe. Southeastern North Dakota would be the area of focus for that. So James River Valley first and then rolling east from there. So first alert weather day today for the potential for storms and heat. And then tomorrow the heat builds in even more. Everybody pretty much gets into the 90s, and some of us in the south may reach 100 degrees. So it's going to be hot and muggy as well. And even tomorrow evening, we have the potential for a thunderstorm or two as well. So a couple of active, hot, and hazardous days. This is something you want to take seriously coming up here in the forecast. The good thing is it doesn't last. We'll see those temperatures starting to dip as we head toward the end of the work week and into the weekend as well. More into tolerable numbers into the mid 80s this weekend.
Yeah, check out that sunrise already.
I know. I feel like I can already feel the heat coming from that sun on my back, even though I'm indoors.
Yeah, you're going to notice it when you step outside this morning. The heat, the humidity already starting up. You're already going to be cranking that AC, and you'll probably need it this afternoon.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay. Thank you, Lisa.
2 brothers now in jail accused of firing shots inside a Fargo apartment building. A caller reported a man with a gun banging on their apartment door yesterday morning, then firing a shot in the hallway. Later in the afternoon, police got a call from another person saying they were assaulted by a man with a handgun.
Officers arrested 24-year-old Pasquale Lawi on several charges, including terrorizing and a bench warrant. His brother Mark was arrested for terrorizing and reckless endangerment. The assault victim is not seriously hurt. Police have now made an arrest in a downtown Fargo stabbing. The attack happened around noon yesterday in the 300 block of Robert Street, which is just outside of the Salvation Army building. 58-year-old Wendell Jeffries was arrested for aggravated assault. That victim has non-life-threatening stab wounds. No word, though, on what prompted the attack.
A Fargo man has been sentenced for sexually abusing a minor. 49-year-old Mark Leslie admitted to assaulting a 14-year-old girl earlier this year. Leslie was sentenced to 12 to 20 years. Well, a big question this morning, what would you do if you were approached by someone suspicious and feared a provoked attack? It's a question many women and even men are asking themselves lately.
Especially after what happened in the Metro the Valley. Today's Nishay Taylor joins us live this morning with some self-defense tips so that way we can stay safe no matter where we are. Good morning, Nishay.
Good morning, Jordan and Ashlyn. You know what? Since I've been learning some of these self-defense tips here with Mariah, she's the owner of MPX Fitness. One thing that I noticed is that, it's fairly simple, but, you just got to get into the action and being able to do it. So that means it's easy for anyone to do. So, Mariah, tell us a little bit about this next technique that we're about to do. We have lovely Kennedy here. She's going to demonstrate with us. So just fill us in on how it works.
You bet. So the reality is sometimes you might be pushed up against a wall. So when you think of if you're pushed up against a wall, you would think that you would try to transition laterally, stepping side to side. And in reality, that individual is just going to move with you. So we had you go through the steps. So if you want to just go through the steps without Kennedy putting pressure on you.
Okay.
So if somebody's standing in front, stepping and taking that angle, sliding that foot behind, and then turning and transitioning so that she's switching positions with potential assailant.
Right.
Now it's all about leverage and then making sure that you're taking weight off the individual's leg when you're tipping and putting pressure on one side versus the other. So if Kennedy goes in there, pushing up against the wall, she's going in for an inside tie, not utilizing her thumb, going up nice and high towards the shoulders. Elbows are in, pushing down, stepping out at an angle, drop stepping, turn, pivot, and then she's transitioning and pushing. So now she's in an optimal position where, again, if it's a situation where you need to stay in play, which would be if you're at a place where there isn't an exit.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Why is this something that, most people don't think about as a way to get out of?
Right, so it's all about leverage. So whether you're standing, whether you're on the ground, how do you move? You have to start moving first with your feet, and that is going to dictate the rest of your body. And then anytime you're able to take weight off of one leg, now they have to balance on one, and it's easier to shift them compared to dead weight that's equally distributed.
All right. Well, thank you, Mariah. Thank you, Kennedy. That was a fun technique, but, I'll keep it in mind for...
Got it down.
Yes, there we go. Taking them down whenever they come my way. All right. Reporting live in Fargo, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
Okay, an active morning. And Nishay, you've come a long way from our first live check-in this morning. You're learning a lot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're keeping everyone.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
She is ready to go. And Nishay, if other people want to get ready to go and learn, is there a way that they can sign up for this? I'm fairly certain Mariah has a gym there that she offers these classes.
Yeah, sure. Mariah, if you can quickly share, how people can sign up for your self-defense classes, where they can find you.
Absolutely. If you go to definethefight.com or mariahprussia.com, you'll be able to see where we have Define the Fight Self-Defense. We have one coming up July 30th, so if you want more information, you can go to the site or call 701-293-0002.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I would definitely say sign up for that class because it's very important. All right, thank you so much, Mariah. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, some great information, Nishay. Thank you for that. It is now 6:57. The shooting death of a Fargo police officer, Jake Wallin, has a lot of people shaken, and many are wondering what can be done to protect against gun violence. Martha Wheeler is a volunteer for Moms Demand Action, a grassroots movement fighting for stronger gun laws. She says that she was terrified by how much weaponry the Fargo police shooter had.
That shouldn't be possible. It shouldn't be possible for somebody to accumulate that many weapons, that much ammunition, weapons that a civilian doesn't need.
Currently, no states have any limits on how many guns one person can own, although Minnesota lawmakers did pass 2 gun control laws this year, one expanding background checks, the other adding a so-called red flag law. Here's a follow-up to a story we first told you about yesterday here on the Valley Today. Police now say the driver who smashed through 3 garage units at a South Fargo apartment complex actually suffered a medical emergency while trying to park his pickup. Major damage still there at Timber Creek Apartments.
Police say the 42-year-old man's vehicle was still in drive when that medical emergency happened. The truck then accelerated into 3 different garages. The Highway Patrol says no charges are expected. No one was hurt, but gosh, what a mess this made. A house fell off a semi near Moorhead yesterday after that truck jackknifed near exit 6 off I-94. The Minnesota State Patrol tells Valley News Live it happened because traffic was stopped in front of that semi due to some road construction. Now, you might have seen this on social media, the creation of what's called the rock snake. There's its head as it goes on back. This is in Moorhead's Gooseberry Park.
It's a creative project where you can add your own painted rocks, but the kicker here, it disappeared over the weekend. Creators say they're planning to rebuild though, and they are looking for another location, so you at home start painting some rocks that you can add to it. And I guess we're ending on this little note. Our furry friend here, a touching scene from the wildfires that are now raging across the Greek island of Rhodes. Romanian firefighters you see in the photo here came to the aid of that rabbit during their deployment to battle the flames.
Now, they say it was completely dehydrated. They helped it drink from a puddle that was formed by a hose from their fire service. The Today Show and CBS Mornings are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on.
Thank you so much for waking up and joining us. Stay safe, stay cool, do what you got to do to beat the heat today and tomorrow, everybody. We'll see you next time.